Hi there. This plastic goodie over here is an automatic pet feeder. Normally it has a bunch of food in it that sits up here, and by turning a geared motor in back it will dispense some of it out the rear, generally to a cat or a dog. It's got a start button, it's got timers, it's got a way to play a message to call the cat or dog, whatever you've got there. So what I've done here is I've hacked into the keyboard and I've run some wires out for the start and the play button out to a stack of little prototyping boards. At the very bottom is an Arduino. In the middle is an Ethernet card, and at the top is a shield that I've modified by adding a CMOS 4066 analog switch. So what this chip is able to do is short out something. Just as when you press this, it shorts out a little contact, and the mechanism, the computer inside there, realizes you press the button and does whatever you've commanded it to do. So this is just doing the same, but under the control of the Arduino, the bottom of this 3-board stack here. By the way, this chip is the only thing that's on this shield, and this is the size of the chip. So were you to be more serious about packaging this thing, you could you can wire this chip in there somewhere and get rid of this red board up here. So right here is it happens to be a 9-volt wall wart that powers the whole thing. This is an Ethernet cable that's connected to my in-house router. There are boards that can be purchased that do Wi-Fi, so you could talk to this with a wireless router. I didn't bother with that. I don't for battery-powered stuff. So over here, I've got a laptop. This Arduino right here is serving web pages. Actually, it's serving 3 of them. So the one that corresponds to the feeder is this guy right here, and it's got a button for feed and a button for play. So so it reaches in through the local address, which for my router and this board is 192.168.1.11. So the 3 different pages that it serves have their names right here after the address. So this is the feeder. It is set up to do vegetable data acquisition and control, and that's what this page is all about. And then this page, called analog, is just going out and reading the disconnected rather, analog inputs. And every time you ask for it, it's going to just be reading noise, and the numbers will change. But that's not. This is just to let somebody know if this board gets borrowed and played with, there are different ways to get into it. That's all. Over here, I've got a paint session with large print in case the Arduino has any trouble showing this thing. So here's the local address / the page name, feeder or station. I didn't show analog, but it's obvious you just write analog there. And these things, besides just serving up a current set of values, you can change some of the values, and I can show you how that works. So something on the outside, say you replace this with a Linux box or some other software, it would send basically this message over to the Arduino and could trigger a feed command. And this text right here, feeder feed C CMD equals 2, is exactly the equivalent of pressing this feed button. But first I have to show the owner of the feeder that it actually works. So it's grinding away, it's going to pour stuff out the back, if it had any food in it. And at the very end it plays a message that's been recorded over here. So our cat doesn't know those names, it's never been fed with this thing, so when it hears it, it doesn't come running. It's just as well. Other things I might want to point out is that this Arduino Mega on the bottom here, all these boards were first of all purchased from SparkFun in Colorado, but Radio Shack even sells Arduinos nowadays. This Mega, as the name implies, is their largest memory board, at least January 2013. And there are less expensive boards that will work this whole thing. I chose this particularly large board, large memory board, because I can fit in some debug stuff. I can talk to a little screen on the side and let me know what it's thinking as I'm going through the development process. There's no reason the Arduino Pro from SparkFun at 1995 can't be resubstituted back into the thing. So I think that concludes what I needed to show.